Hi, my name is Alexandra and welcome to my channel Family Code. What is the most financially dangerous relationship status if you live in Switzerland? Is it being single? Is it being divorced? Or is it being in the process of divorce? Not at all. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you know it from your own experience, maybe you know it from the friends living in Switzerland, or maybe you, like me, happen to live in Switzerland. So many couples think about living together, moving in together to a common flat, but hardly ever do they think about what happens when they have kids. The most financially dangerous relationship status for a woman living in Switzerland is long-term concubinat, cohabitation with your partner. And here in this video, I'm gonna tell you why in a nutshell, and I hope this video can bring clarity to both men and both women. Financial literacy and planning financial protection in a relationship or in marriage is super important, especially when you live in a country like Switzerland. When you are in a concubinat with someone, especially when you're a woman and you have kids, and you don't think ahead about how do we arrange that financially, what happens if I stop working, if I give up my salary, if I give up my pension contributions, if I give up my career pathway. Usually this is a silenced kind of thing that is never talked about in public, and this is super crucial so that women are aware of their rights, women are aware of the trade-off they do while having children and at the same time having much worse financial situation than their men. Of course, having children is the most beautiful thing in your life, and I'm sure even if you're a happy mother, you're happy, and if you have a good husband. But very often the reality is that there are many misunderstandings and many hardships in relationships based on concubinat as soon as you have one or two kids. Why? Because as a woman, if you stop working, you have, let's say you have two small kids, you stopped working, you stopped your AHV and BVG social contributions, the first and second pillar, because you are not earning. Let's say you gave up your salary of 100,000 Swiss francs per year, brutto, gross. Then what kind of protection do you have? So in concubinat, you have no legal protection at all. In marriage, you would have. So in concubinat, as soon as you have kids, the only thing you can claim from your partner, if you decide to separate, God forbid, but sometimes it's a good decision to take if you're in an abusive relationship. The only thing you can claim is the maintenance for the child, so the so-called Unterhalt, at least this is how they call it here in Switzerland. But you will get nothing else per law, contrary to being wife in a marriage structure. So if you have kids and you stopped working and you take care of your kids, then the gap, the structural and financial gap is created. So first of all, you stop paying to AHV and BVG, first and second pillar social contributions, because you don't have income. Second of all, you lose your income, so let's say 100,000 francs per year. Third of all, you have career interruption. There is a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, or even more sometimes. You have no inheritance rights. If your partner dies, you end up alone, financially alone with 2 kids. You have no pension protection because the pension gap gets created as soon as the woman stops working. In marriage in Switzerland, when you're married, the pension is divided during the separation or divorce, half by half. So at least you have pension from your husband, half. But in concubinat, you have nothing. So that's why it's so important to have these talks and conversations before you ever live with someone, before you ever decide to have kids with someone. And I really understand not all the couples want to marry, but please make sure that the arrangement you have is fair for both sides. So you can always structurally agree what elements you would like to have in your contract to protect your family. For example, you can ask your partner to contribute the first and second pillar from his salary when you stop working to take care of your common child. You can ask your partner to also go down from the workload percentage, maybe from 100 to 80%, so that he can also actively participate in bringing up your common child. And you, instead of quitting your job, you can also, I know it's not possible in all the situations and life circumstances, go down with your workload to 50% or 60%. And of course, these are not easy solutions, and I'm not telling you that this is the perfect life. But we need to acknowledge that that love creates families, but structure protects them. So if you don't have a structure for your concubinat from your cohabitation, you'd better get one, especially in a country like Switzerland, because if your relationship ends, you live in your partner's flat, then where do you go? If you don't have assets, if you don't have money because you're a mother of 2 kids, where do you go? What is the money that you saved or that you had during the time when you had kids? There's none. If you don't have family and you're an expat like me in Switzerland, you can land very harshly. So to protect yourself, please, dear women, think about yourselves. Think about protecting yourselves even though you don't want a marriage. Because this is actually, the structure is what makes love to flow. If you have a good container, if you have a good structure, the relationship balances itself out. And then I'm sure many of you will have a question. What if my partner would not want to contribute to my BVG AHV and support me when I quit working? I want you to know that you're not alone in this. And this will not be possible with everyone. But if you value ethics, if you value integrity, honesty, and shared structure and shared risks, particularly if you're having children, then I hope this video is good for you. So please share it with whoever you think would benefit from this video. And just to remind you, my name is Alexandra. This is Family Code. I'm a lawyer by education and family constellations facilitator, and I help couples in the transitions moment, especially also with things like before marriage risks and structures, so that later on we don't have problems, we don't have financial problems, we don't have divorce problems, so that everything can flow. I wouldn't say risk-free totally, but in a more structured way, so that you can sleep well. Thank you for watching, and until next time.